Hey, what's going on, guys? smarthelping.com here. We're going to talk about how to make charts and graphs from raw data. It's something I've done a lot in my career. I do a lot of data analysis on top of financial modeling, and I love doing it. So before I get started, remember check out smarthelping.com for more smarthelping.com for more financial models and tools. Um, you can buy all the advanced templates I've done in the financial world, and I've got a lot of Google Sheet structures here too. And that's what I'll be working in today for all kinds of different automation tasks and organization, data tracking, sales pipeline, CRM stuff. So I've done a lot of that kind of thing. You can buy all the sheets for $9.99, and that's lifetime access. No matter however many I build in the future, you'll have access to everything, and that goes for all the bundles as well, and any template added to a bundle in the future. Okay, so charts. Um, let's just say you have some data here. Let's say type, um, color, and let's say we're just going to put in some data points here, and then let's say I have two colors, red and yellow. Now, you'll report on all kinds of different data points, and you'll have structured databases like this. And it's not as simple as just highlighting the data and then hitting, format or insert a chart. You're not going to do that. The first thing you'll do, and I'm talking to you people out there that are just getting used to Excel or Google Sheets, I'm going to use all the same functions. So what I'm doing here could work in Excel as well. Same idea. So what I want to do is I need to target specific data, but it has to be uh, essentially compiled with formulas. So you'll use the sumifs function, sumifs, sumifs, and countifs. Those are going to be the two functions you'll probably use the most in this. And I mean, with this kind of work, I've been paid $165 an hour to do this kind of stuff. You'll get more work at probably $80 an hour, but it's definitely valuable. And if you know how to do it, it's really good. I'll have the example spreadsheet I'm working on right now in the link in the description box below when I finish. But so we want to say, well, what do we want to actually report on? Let's say I want to know how many um, how many items. Let's think about this. How do we want to? We could say how many items are red, how many items are yellow. So we have a data point here, red, yellow, and then a count. So we say count ifs. I want to know count if in that range. If it is red, and you just simply highlight the column, and we're going to lock this here. So there I see, now I can see, well, there's 5 red and 2 yellow. So there's my first chart. And again, there could be 10 different types here, all kinds of different data. We could say we could add blue to the list, green. We could also add more here. And I could add, what do we have here? Blue, green. So we'll add a couple more. So here's my first chart. I just want to show, okay, how many do I have of each one? I'll go high. So now I've put the data into a composable view so that it's now analyzed, and I highlight it, and you go insert chart. And Google Sheets has pretty good charting. It's kind of rigid, but it's good. You can go here. So now look, I can see here's the count by color. How many red do I have? 5. How many yellow? 2. And now that's analyzing. We've now analyzed this data set for the color metric. You can also go edit chart, hit these little 3 dots. You can customize, you can go to the series, and apply all series. Maybe we want to see the data labels. We could increase the fonts on those. Where's the font? This. Maybe we want it bigger. Maybe we want it to be bold. All kinds of different things you can do. So count by color. There's a chart. So I've now made a chart about this data set. You could also do, so there's the first chart. You could also do, well, what if I want to see count by type? Well, if I want to do it by type, I can say, watch this. I can go use the unique function, which gives me all the unique values in an array. And this is used a lot in data analysis in Google Sheets. Now this you cannot use in Excel. You would have to manually sort and remove duplicates. Unless you have Office 365 and are part of the Insiders program, in that case you can use dynamic arrays. But anyway, you get the unique ones here of the first column we have. And now I want to say, well, I want to know, and let's do this second chart down here. So I still have my colors, but I want to know how many are red and big, how many are yellow and tall. So here I would do, watch this, we'll paste this down. So I have my first filter here. Well, let's just redo the whole thing. So I go count ifs, open bracket. I want to count if this is red. And then how many times does it happen if the color is red and on the same row, the type is big. So I've now gone to two different styles. And here I can just lock this and we'll drag it over. So I can say, okay, there we go. So we have one that's green and big. Let's check our data. Where's our green? Here, and we have one that's big. We have two that are green and tall. So tall, tall, right there. So this is a nice little data set here. We can do a chart on this. Now this is a little bit different. You've got 2 points here. So you could go, you could make so this would be a different type of chart here. We could do, let's insert a chart. Now I see, wow, I have a range here. I have how many counts are there for big that are red, yellow, blue, and green. So you have each data point going down on the left side is your x-axis, and then the data here is actually going to show you for each of these how many there are. Now in this, maybe the best type, you could also do let's see, a scatter plot. If you want to see points and you want the axes to be based on these values, and one axis would be color or number, the other axis would be color, but this is the most common here, and you can see for each data point we have charts. It's kind of messy, I just put in random information. So I'll show you that too. So you can go insert chart. Now we want to change the chart type here, so all I do is to change the chart type. Click on these three dots, edit chart, and chart type. So here, if we do a scatter plot, now look, we can see going over and it's kind of hard to see with usually a scatter plot's going to involve a lot of data, but here we can still see, okay, big, I have one green, I have two blue. For tall, I have no blue, I have two green. For short, I have one yellow, and that's it. For small, I have one green, two red. Now, it doesn't really make sense here. It would make more sense if we had maybe 1,000 data points, and you'd start to see a pattern for these. But again, you can do that. This could also be, let me make a copy of this chart. This could also be a stack column. So I have my data points here, and I want to see, let's change this to a stacked. So I'm going to go to column type here, go to stacked. And now look, it's kind of interesting. I can see for the data point of column A, whatever that data point is, the metric. So in this case is big. I can see how many total do I have that are registered for big. So I have one green, two blue, one yellow, one red. And what's the total for that for big? There's 5 items there. For tall, there's 2, short's 1, small is 3. So it's a stack column. That's another thing you're going to use. So these are just different ways you can do charts. I always like to, whenever I have charts, I'll do view and show and remove grid lines. So uncheck that. So now I have no grid lines. I might fill this in with like a light box here. Or if I was doing the count, you can go here, make this box. Let's think. Is there anything else? You could also go by date. Another thing is if you had, let's say, column A or was a date and you wanted to count how many items occurred, how many times something happened on a date, or sum the amount that happened on a date, you would just do sumifs, the column you're trying to sum against the date range matching whatever date, and you can easily distill that into columns. I wish I had that pre-filled in, but I guess I could do it here. Let's just say we have a bunch of dates. Do it down here so there's more room. I'll go through a couple months. And let's say we have rand between 1 and 1,000. I'm just going to put random numbers in here. Okay, and then what if I want to say total for January? This is one of the most common structures. That's why I'm going to just do it. And we'll go. So here I'm just structuring how I'm going to just compose the data. I just have months going across. I could have random dates here. It doesn't have to be in order. And I have corresponding values. These are just arbitrary. I just have value, date, and I want to know what was the total. So I go sumifs now, sum instead of count. Sum column B, if the date, and here's a range. So I need to say if that is greater than or equal to the start date, also is the range. And these are months, so I'll just go less than or equal to, and end of month, F3, 0. So that's going to sum up the total values that happened in January. And then I can chart this. Let's drag it over and we'll do a chart on this. So again, these are very common financial charts that people do all the time. Let's make sure we did this right. So here I can see January. Let's format this to, maybe I like to do just date and year. And now that should encompass all of the data here. Let's sum this up and see. What's our sum? 41,768. Yep. Okay, so we got all the numbers. And for this chart, this could be some data point. Maybe it's sales. Here's your sales. Let's put a dollar value on it. These are your monthly sales. And I want to see it visually. So we highlight this. We have 12 months out of the year. Highlight, insert, chart. Very simple. There you have it. We'll format this. I usually like 30-degree angle. And these are monthly sales. So there you have it, and that's how you make a chart out of that. I'd probably remove the grid lines and make this dark, a little bit grayer. Go to customize, chart style, background color. I like a little gray. We could also make it 3D. Remember, you go to chart, you go to hit the button up here, 3 buttons, hit edit chart. I'm under customize chart style, and here I can put 3D or not. We'll keep it 3D. You can also do compare mode. That'll show different data points if you hover over it. To show the data labels, if I want, I go to series, click the data label. There's my total sales each month. Very straightforward. You can do axis labels as well here under chart and axis titles. You can do vertical, horizontal, and then if you have a combo chart, you can also have a right vertical. And yeah, there's all kinds of different customizations you can do. So, I mean, that's pretty simple. And this is a lot of what finance people do in Google Sheets and Excel. You're distilling raw data in databases into structured information that can be analyzed. And that's pretty much it. We'll bold this up here. So what I just went over probably covers almost 95% of the work in that you're going to be doing with structured databases on a very, I mean, it's a high level, but you're going to be summing things on some time period. You could also be summing things if they met other criteria, like sum this if the date matches and the item is blue or yellow, or you could just be summing total values that were blue, total values that were red if you're trying to do a product sales analysis of a bunch of different types of products. Um, so hopefully this helps. These are, I mean, countifs, countifs with multiple criteria, sumifs with a criteria of a date range. These things are just going to be used a lot. And then we do this cool scatter chart here. I think that was interesting. Scatter plot by type and count of each, and then we did a stack column. So that's all I got for you here today. Hopefully these help you. And I do custom financial modeling. I do custom data analysis if you have work. Rates $165 an hour. And don't forget, check out www.smarthelping.com. Again, over hundreds of different templates and tools that have been built for businesses to forecast, test unit economics. You can learn from the stuff I've done in actual uses, and there's all sorts of templates there for accounting departments, HR departments, for business owners to do forecasts. And yeah, it's good stuff here. So I'll see you guys on the next one.